In this podcast episode, Rob Henderson discusses the concept of luxury beliefs and their impact on society. Luxury beliefs are ideas and opinions that confer status on the affluent while often inflicting costs on the lower classes. Henderson explains that luxury beliefs are held by those who are sheltered from the consequences of their beliefs, such as the defund the police movement. Luxury beliefs serve as a way for affluent individuals to signal their status to others. By espousing certain beliefs, they appear caring, open-minded, and highly educated to their peers. These beliefs often signify membership in elite institutions and cultural circles. However, the believers are often shielded from the negative consequences of their beliefs, as seen in the case of defunding the police. The defund the police movement is a prime example of luxury beliefs in action. While affluent individuals may support reducing police funding to signal their progressive values, the lower-income communities that are most affected by crime often do not share this sentiment. Henderson points out that violent crime rates spiked in major U.S. cities following the movement, leading to increased victimization among lower-income individuals. Henderson highlights the disparity in support for defunding the police among different income groups. Surveys show that higher-income Americans were more likely to support the movement, while lower-income Americans, who are more vulnerable to crime, were less supportive. This discrepancy underscores the disconnect between the beliefs of the affluent and the realities faced by marginalized communities. The consequences of luxury beliefs can be detrimental, particularly when they lead to policies that harm vulnerable populations. In the case of defunding the police, the movement resulted in increased crime rates and a lack of police protection for those who needed it most. Henderson emphasizes the need for accountability and acknowledgement of the negative outcomes that can arise from luxury beliefs. Henderson also critiques elite institutions and their role in perpetuating luxury beliefs. He points out the status anxiety and snobbish attitudes prevalent among those who attend or work at prestigious universities. The focus on educational credentials and institutional hierarchies can create barriers for individuals seeking upward mobility and reinforce elitist attitudes. Henderson draws parallels between historical cultural signifiers of status, such as expensive hobbies and fashion choices, and modern luxury beliefs. He explains how luxury beliefs have replaced luxury goods as a way for the affluent to signal their status. By adopting certain beliefs and opinions, individuals can distinguish themselves as part of a privileged class, even if they are shielded from the consequences of their beliefs. Henderson talks about his challenging childhood, growing up in poverty and experiencing instability in his family life. He describes how he lacked motivation and self-discipline during his teenage years, which affected his academic performance and overall outlook on life. Despite these challenges, he acknowledges that he had some innate drive and ambition that eventually propelled him towards a different path. At the age of 17, Henderson made the decision to enlist in the Air Force, seeking structure and discipline in his life. He highlights the importance of the military in teaching him self-discipline and the distinction between motivation and self-discipline. Through the regimented system of the military, he learned the value of following rules and routines, which ultimately led to a sense of freedom and direction in his life. Henderson's time in the Air Force provided him with the necessary skills and mindset to pursue higher education and career opportunities. He emphasizes the role of self-discipline in achieving his goals and how it has become second nature to him. By setting clear goals and adhering to a structured routine, he was able to progress from poverty to success. Henderson explains that childhood poverty is not always a strong predictor of harmful or detrimental outcomes later in life. He points out that the correlation between growing up poor and engaging in criminal behavior, substance abuse, or other social pathologies is weak or not significant. On the other hand, childhood instability, characterized by factors such as parental divorce, frequent relocations, and family chaos, has a strong and consistent correlation with negative outcomes. Henderson emphasizes that childhood instability can have a profound effect on a person's development, expectations, and goals. Factors such as the presence of both birth parents, family structure and the level of day-to-day disorder in a child's life can significantly influence their future outcomes. He notes that even when researchers control for childhood family income, the link between instability and negative outcomes remains strong and significant. Drawing from his own upbringing in foster homes and low-income families, Henderson reflects on the impact of instability on his life. He recalls moments of financial struggle, such as not being able to afford a belt or facing challenges with rent payments. Despite these difficulties, he acknowledges the progress he has made and the sense of gratitude he feels for his current situation compared to his past experiences. Henderson discusses the concept of Honic adaptation, where individuals adjust to their circumstances over time. He reflects on his ability to adapt and feel grateful for the improvements in his life, such as being able to afford things without financial stress. He notes that while his happiness may not have changed significantly, his overall life satisfaction has increased as he looks back on his journey from poverty and instability to a more stable and secure life. The conversation shifts to the topic of giving and receiving compliments. Henderson shares his struggles with accepting compliments, attributing it to his upbringing and lack of positive feedback in his early years. He acknowledges the importance of learning to graciously receive compliments and the skill involved in both giving and accepting praise. Henderson references a study from 1988 that explores gender differences in compliment-giving behavior. The study reveals that women tend to compliment each other on appearance, while men focus more on accomplishments. He speculates on the ease of receiving compliments based on the typical targets of praise for each gender, suggesting that individuals may feel more comfortable with compliments that align with societal expectations. The conversation touches on engaging with controversial topics and online debates. Henderson praises individuals like Alexander Dacey for their willingness to confront challenging discussions and engage with opposing viewpoints. He acknowledges the importance of addressing black pill ideologies and challenging negative beliefs through research and informed discourse. Henderson reflects on being categorized as part of the academic manosphere alongside other researchers and intellectuals. He discusses the dynamics of online interactions and the diverse range of perspectives within this group. He appreciates the opportunity to contribute to meaningful discussions and explore complex issues within this intellectual community. Henderson shares his experience at Yale University, where he stood out due to his older age and military background. He mentions the cultural shift he witnessed on campus, particularly the rise of politically correct movements and identity politics. He highlights an incident where a professor faced backlash for defending freedom of expression, showcasing the growing trend of victimhood culture among students. Henderson also reflects on the lack of class diversity at Yale and how it influenced the prevalent ideologies on campus. The conversation delves into the concept of behavioral genetics and individual agency in shaping one's outcomes. Henderson discusses the two-step potential theory, which emphasizes the blend of individual effort within the constraints of external factors. He mentions the influence of genetics on psychological traits and the importance of recognizing one's agency in determining their path. He emphasizes the need to focus on personal growth and improvement rather than comparing oneself to others. Henderson shares insights on developing better reading habits. He emphasizes the importance of treating reading like a habit, similar to a gym routine, by setting aside dedicated time each day. He suggests starting with small reading goals, such as a sentence or a paragraph, and gradually increasing the reading load. He recommends taking notes, highlighting key points, and engaging with the material to enhance comprehension and retention. He also advises revisiting books, summarizing key takeaways, and sharing notes to reinforce learning. Henderson discusses the significance of choosing books that align with personal interests and goals. He suggests reading multiple books simultaneously and exploring different genres to maintain engagement. He also highlights the benefits of sharing notes online and engaging with others to deepen comprehension and spark discussions.